Hello and welcome. I am Karjan, and this is Let's Art Operation Blinking Mirror Edition. For anyone curious, my tools of the trade are Photoshop CS5, which is what's currently on the screen, and my Lenovo X220 tablet, which allows me to draw directly on the screen with their funky little Wacom tablet pen. I basically use it in replacement of an actual Wacom tablet because it means I have one less piece of equipment to carry around when I have to go other places. So this is my horrible pre-sketch that I always do on paper and then scan in to my computer in order to start sketching on top of outlining things. So I'm basically just going to grab the basic parts of the outline, which in this case I'm just going to grab the tree and then the log, because the people and other creatures that are in this piece of work are going to be worked up towards later. And you can tell I'm not really being very precise about things. But that's the fun of it. You get to... Oh. Let's undo that. I'm trying to be fairly straight with my work. Whoops. Whoops. That usually doesn't happen. So that whole little whoopsie was a result of the fact that I accidentally rested my hand on the screen. The X220 is a multi-touch tablet, which does exactly what you think it does. It means that not only does my pen touch make a click, but I can also click with my hands. And for anyone actually curious, yes, cat paws do indeed trigger the multi-touch as well, as I have found to my detriment, as my cat decides to touch the screen quite often to get my attention. So yeah, I am just doing basic outline of the inanimate objects here. And while I'm doing this, I guess I should give you an overview of what exactly Operation Blinking Mirror is. So, Operation Blinking Mirror is an attempt by the many and varied fans of one of Konami's game series called Suikoden, or Suikoden, however you feel like pronouncing it. Give it an English accent, or, well, by English I mean American, or give it a more appropriate Suikoden sort of lilt if you want to be more accurate to the Japanese pronunciation of the word. Anyway, it's an attempt by the fans of the series to convince Konami that there should really be another game made, because the story isn't finished yet, and we would like our story to be finished. Just going to add a stump in here. Well, horrible attempt at a stump in here. That's probably not. Let's go out a little further-ish. Don't like that. Something like that. Yeah, it's a little bit too close to the base of it. I'll probably fix that later. So, the idea is that between the dates of the 11th or the 10th and the 12th of December 2013, the idea is to take fan-made objects, such as in my case, which is a sketch that I am creating and then working on, or a letter, or art. I've already mentioned art. Music, similar things like that, and send it all to Konami during those 3 days in order to convince them that there is actually still an interest in all of this and that they should really continue the series so that we can get the rest of our story. I don't know exactly how effective this will be, but since the series itself is quite often a lot about the effectiveness of a bunch of people banding together in order to make something work, well, I'm willing to give the game its proper shot in proving that what it says is accurate. You know, don't mind my occasionally stop and start rambling because I'm trying to freehand draw a sketch tree, and this is so much easier with a pencil in my hand. As much as I like my Wacom tablet PC, it's not really a Wacom tablet, it's a Wacom tablet PC. I do prefer pencil and paper for the initial work. It just makes me feel like I have more control over the whole thing. It's also a bit of the hand feel sort of thing. It's like drawing on a screen is a completely different feel than drawing on a piece of paper, because the screen doesn't actually have much. Well, obviously it doesn't have anything in the way of texture. You don't want a screen to have texture, so you know, obviously you wouldn't give it a texture, but the slick feeling tends to throw my ability to judge where my hand is going off, which leaves me generally displeased with how things turn out. So basically all I've just been doing right here is adding a little bit more detail into the background, because just a single tree doesn't make for a very interesting background, especially when you've got this log down here. So yeah, forgive my occasionally spastic bouncing around. I tend to work in fits and starts with the various pieces. Okay, I'm going to change the hue of those so I can tell which belongs to which layer. And I guess since I'm trying to be polite about this, I should actually name these layers. So this is... we'll just go with main tree. And we'll name this background trees. That way I can tell easily. There will probably be a couple of hints in the background down here that there are more trunks, but a significant portion of the upper area is going to be taken up with my attempt at leaves, so I don't have to be too detailed with the rest of it. Okay, so I'm going to turn those off. And I'm going to get to work on the people. Let's start with the guy in the tree. So this image that I sketched out really quick, and it was basically a half-an-hour sketch that I did at like 4 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. That'll do. Is based in Suikoden 2. Excuse me, my mouse is going to go off the screen for a bit. I have a second screen that... whoops. I have a second screen... get back up here. That I have a bunch of reference work up on. Most of it is just... I don't want fine... I want hard edges. Yes. I just realized that I did all of those with soft edges, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's erase that. So, based in Suikoden 2, the character in the tree is Blue Lightning Flick, or will be as soon as... oh, that's a lot larger than I thought it would be. Let's erase that. Back to this. Okay. A little bit larger. Is Blue Lightning Flick. And the character yeah, I just realized that his shoulders are actually way too low. Well, sort of. If you drop the shoulder like that, so his actual shoulder is dropped, but this is where his neck... sorry, I'm just muttering to myself at this point. So, Blue Lightning Flick is in the tree. Over here we have, this is probably going to be Muku Muku, which is one of the 5 cutesy animals of the game. It's a super squirrel. He's got a cape. And then down here we have the other 4 squirrels. And this will end up being probably Nina. idea behind the image is that you'll end up seeing a lot of those random line draws, and that will be completely and totally a result of accidentally touching the screen with my knuckles or something when and so it registers a double tap. And that's also generally where these little stupid dots come from. One, two, three, four, 5, about 6. Yeah, it's approximate. I'm not that great of an artist, and I will admit that. I will freely admit that. But I try to get better all the time. And you can't get better without trying. Fold the legs up. The problem is the posture is a little strange, and I've never done a piece of posture like this. Whoops. There we go. New layer, new color. This way I can see what I'm doing. So I have it going like this on here. Anyway, the idea of the art is that Nina in the game is kind of a stalker. She's a sort of fine character in and of herself, but she's a stalker, and Flick is one of the guys that she stalks. He really doesn't like this. So, hand and the thumbs like that. So the idea is Flick is hiding in the tree, and Muku Muku is having his brothers and sister, because there is one female squirrel, distract Nina so that Flick doesn't get caught. Originally, I was going to end up having, Flick basically handing Muku Muku a bag of nuts as a sort of comment on Muku Muku being a little bit mercenary towards Flick, even though I can't honestly remember how mercenary Muku Muku really is in the game. I just remember him being adorable. Yeah, that'll be fine. I mean, clearly I'm going to have to go back in here and do a lot more details, and a lot finer details, but I'm just roughing out some work right now. Just trying to rough out the sketches. So, another, and we'll flick back to a green. I didn't actually sketch Muku Muku while I had a reference picture up, so he's actually drawn very anime-ish, with chubby little body and cute little cute little paws that are very much like hands. So that's gonna be fun. I get to draw mini hands, because, you know, regular sized hands aren't enough trouble. I don't really like that. Let's widen that out a little bit. His arms are actually... yeah. Whoops. His arms are actually a lot wider at the... there we go. That's more like it. And he has booted feet. Booted feet. So I'm not entirely sure how that would work with this posture that I've got him in, but we'll just indicate a paw right there, and a paw right there, and he's got a really bushy tail. So, let's see. This, and it goes up like this, and I guess maybe up like that. Yeah, you're gonna end up seeing me flick the art on and off a lot. Because I'm not always very good at... his waist shouldn't be that thin. I'm not very good at naming the layers all the time, especially in layers that are just going to be tossed later. I don't know. I guess it looks okay. You gotta keep in mind that anything I say right now is quite likely to be changed later as I actually refine the line art as things go. And I'm basically trying to do one character per general layer. Oops. And I don't really care. I just remembered that I didn't draw his ears on. They're adorable little ears. Like that. Of course, I also didn't draw Mukumuku's cape, so that's gonna be interesting. His cape's gonna be like down here, which will mostly hide this, so... Lesson 1 of art. Figure out how you can place things such that everything you don't know how to do is somehow hidden. Flick the tail up like this. And little indication of a foot. And little indication of a paw, although it'll probably be... I'm not entirely sure which of the other squirrels each one of these is going to be. They all basically look identical, except for their cape colors. So, in the end, it will just be a matter of coloring the capes different colors. There's Muku Muku has a red cape. There's another one with a blue cape. Another one with... and I just did exactly what I said I wouldn't do, which is put another squirrel on the same layer. Wait. Nope. I didn't. Oh, I wasn't really liking the way that was going anyway. Okay. This one right here is actually the one I don't like the most, with the position that I put it in. His ears are much smaller than I've got them drawn. They're just little tiny things. They don't really have a neck either. I've so gotten into the habit of drawing things with necks, because the usual thing I draw is dragons. Dragons have great big long necks, especially the way I draw them. Great big long tails. So, nice bushy tail. Sort of haphazard. Honestly, this one will probably be the female because it's being pet by Nina. Don't really like that. Because I just don't know what to do with their upper arms. Let's undo that. Let's go. Maybe do something adorable-ish like that. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Quite clearly, everything must be refined. Much, much more than this is currently being. I'm gonna do this one a little bit more side view. Up a little bit. He now kind of looks evil, but whoosh. Tail. And front paw. Ears. Where's my mouse? Mouse, come here. There we go. Sometimes my work glitches out just a little bit. Although this is currently working much better than what I was previously experiencing. Don't like where that's pointing. More like that, yeah, I guess. Guess more like that works. Floof. Floofy tail. And yet again, I don't really know what to do with the arms. Okay. And then Nina. And oops. Oh man. Okay. Let's try this again. Nina's basically a young student, so she's got a roundy baby face sort of thing going on. I guess that'll work, sort of. Her hair is going to be interesting to do because it's got the it's got a kind of European-ish inward curl right around here where where is... I don't like drawing people at all. I don't think I ever will like drawing people. Okay. The curve is a little further up in the spine. Like that. And you've got... that. Ah, that's not down far enough. There. It's a little better. Got this. And her legs. How exciting. We've got... oops. One arm in the back. She's petting him, or her, rather. And maybe she'll be offering something. I don't know. Maybe she'll be reaching towards this one over here. Let's see. Shoot. No. Hips need to be straighter than that was. Yeah, something like that. Now. It's a little big, but... whoops. a little bit of definition to tell me where things are going. That's not bad. She is supposed to be smaller than Flick, but I'm mostly assuming... And Muku Muku needs to be made smaller, I think. Yeah, Muku Muku needs to be a bit smaller than he is. Actually, more than a bit. I might just move Muku Muku from over here to be sitting up over here on the same branch. It might work better. I think it will work better. Where is Muku Muku? Okay, there's Muku Muku. Great. I lost where that stupid... There it is. I don't care about that one anymore. So... let's put Muku Muku up here. Shoot, I wish I knew exactly the size difference. Swoosh. And if I have him up here, I can have him holding... holding a bag of nuts. And snacking on it. I wish I knew the exact size difference in the squirrels in terms of... that gives a better sense of scale. Muku Muku is distinctly smaller than the rest of them. At that point. Yeah, I think I like Muku Muku sitting up there better. Okay. Alright. And with that, we have now outlined the beginning of this. So, I will see you next video.